Hello folks, finally back out on the bike again. It's about time that we finally got some decent weather to get out here. It's not raining, it's not too terribly cold. It's actually close to 60 today, which is pretty warm for these parts. Allow me to reintroduce myself to those of you that might be new subscribers, or maybe this is you're just stopping by to hear me talk about the Rattan. But I kind of wanted to just kind of give you a little bit of a background about who I am and what I do on this channel. Normally my wife is out here with me. We actually have two electric e-bikes. They have 500 watt motors, 10.5 amp hour batteries. We have the original electrics. I think the new electrics have a smaller battery and thinner tires, and they're supposed to get pretty good mileage on those. This Rattan is the third e-bike that I own, and it is a 750 watt motor and a 13 amp hour battery. So we've got some more power on this one, and when I say more power, I mean a good bit more power. It's kind of amazing to me how much difference it is going from a 500 watt motor to a 750 watt motor. But getting back to what I was saying, a little background about myself and this channel. When I first started, I was kind of hesitant about buying e-bikes because I'm a larger than normal person. Although I'm not horribly tall, I'm around 6 feet tall, but I also weigh about 295 pounds, 300 and plus on a bad day. And I was worried that an e-bike just wouldn't be powerful enough to get me where I needed to go. Let's see, let's come up here and jump onto the rail trail real quick. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We do a lot of e-biking videos on this channel. And we're getting ready to head through this tunnel up here. It's pretty neat. But we do a lot of biking stuff, e-biking stuff. I throw in, a little bit of family stuff here and there, sleigh riding, whatnot. And a little bit of a mix, but mainly e-biking. There you. I always like this tunnel. It's really cold in this tunnel. During the summertime, it's really nice. It's almost like air conditioning. But we, like I was saying, my wife Lisa is usually with me, but she has an appointment today. But when I originally started this channel, I had no goals of being a YouTuber or anything like that. We're getting up in age. We're in our 50s, and I'm a little bigger, a little bit on the larger side, and I get knee issues every now and then riding a regular bike. I can't go very far before my knee starts to hurt. So I started getting the idea. I saw a video one time of somebody doing an e-bike review, and I thought, you know, that might be a great thing for us, or for me in particular. Lisa's a lot smaller than I am. I don't think she has the same troubles I do. But I thought, you know, an e-bike would be a perfect way for me to get out and be able to cover a little bit more ground, see a little bit more outside, you know. Even just walking more than a couple blocks, you know, gets my knees, not one of my knees to hurt. So I thought, you know, if I get on this bike, and I try to do it on a low pedal assist so that I can get a workout while I'm doing this. But if I need that little bit of extra help, my knee starts to hurt or whatever, you know, I can bump up the power on the bike, and it would help get me along. It would allow me to stay out on the trails a little bit longer, see a lot more the scenery and that type of thing. And all the reviews that I saw were of small people, you know, maybe around 200 pounds or less. And I had no idea if it would work for a guy hovering around 300 pounds. So I just kind of took a shot in the dark and figured, you know, if they don't work for us, then I can, you know, always probably list them and resell them. How are you? Good. But looks like there's quite a few people out today. So I went ahead and bought two. I bought one for me and one for my wife. And e-bikes are pretty expensive. I ended up coming across the electric bike and the e-bikes. And, you know, they were, you know, within my price range to get two of them. I was going to get a more powerful bike, but then I wouldn't have one for my wife, and I didn't want to get, you know, spend that much money on a couple bikes. So we decided to go with the 500 watt electrics. And hello. And when they got here, I was pleasantly surprised. And to be quite honest with you, the 500 watt motor of those will take me just about any place I want to go. Like I said, just about any place I want to go. One thing that you need to know about e-bikes is weight plays a huge part in your riding quality, your riding experience. The heavier you are, the more battery you're going to use. You know, the slower you're going to go up hills. And I live in West Virginia, which is full of hills. These rail trails are fairly flat for the most part, but if I'm riding other than a rail trail, you know, we've got some steep hills, and that eats at your battery a lot, especially if you're heavier. But like I said, the electrics have been doing really well for us. I had a company, Rattan, contacted me and asked me if I'd do a review on theirs, which is a 750 watt bike. So I got the Rattan, and it's just amazing how different it is going from 500 watts to 750. I mean, this thing will out drag race the electric bike big time. You know, my wife, who's like half my size, can be on the electric, and I can get on this thing, and in a drag race for the first 50 yards or so, I can burn her up. I can leave her in the dust. If we switch and she gets on this bike, I mean, you can't even see her by the time, you know, we get to top speed. But that's how much power it has. And you know, when it comes right down to it, most of these e-bikes are all the same. It just depends on the size of the motor, the size of the battery, and the width of the tires. And then there's always little tiny things like mechanical brakes versus hydraulic brakes. Just all types of little things like that. But the important thing is the motor and the battery size. So although I really love our electrics, I'll probably be riding this Rattan quite a bit, just because it does so well for me going up hills, and then that extra battery life. You know, my battery on the electric dies a lot faster than Lisa's does when she's riding, when we're riding together. So hopefully, you know, this bike will do a little better for me, although I'll still be riding electric quite a bit. But so yeah, the main thing was just getting the word out to even big people like me are able to ride these bikes and have a good time on them. But anyway, yeah, I started doing these videos because there just weren't any videos of big folks riding these bikes, and it turns out that it works well for a big guy. Of course, the bigger motor that you can get, the better. Some states have different rules and regulations about the motor size that you can have. Honestly, in this state, I think the 500 watt is the biggest you're supposed to have, but there's really no way to tell what the amperage is on these motors by somebody that would just stop by and look at them. The other important thing is you're not supposed to have an e-bike that goes over 20 miles an hour. And that's the biggest difference between this bike, this Rattan LM750, and the electric, is that you can unlock the electric and get up to 28 to 30 miles an hour. Well, this bike, the Rattan bike, you can't unlock it. I've looked, I've tried, I've looked at other videos. I don't think you can unlock these bikes, so you're kind of limited to 20 miles an hour. So whenever my wife and I would drag race, whoever was on this bike, of course, would win the first 50 to 75 yards, and then by that point the electric will catch up and pass you. But I don't really ride that speed, so the get up and go power is the most important thing to me. So, you know, I rarely go too much over 10 or 15 miles an hour anyway. So that's kind of, you know, what I base this channel off of. We get out and do rides. I now have 3 bikes, so I'll be able to come out with Lisa and my daughter quite a few times. That'll be fun. She wanted to come today, but she's not real steady about stopping on these things yet. And we had to go cross some streets and stuff, so I had to leave her at the house. But we hope to get everybody out here pretty soon on a weekend when it's not raining or snowing. This is the middle of the week, and I just got off work, and I thought I'd come out real quick and do a video for you guys. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. This bike only has 14 miles on it, so I really haven't been able to ride it too much since I got it. One thing I wish this bike did have that the electric does have, and this one doesn't, is you can't see how many volts you have left on your battery. Both bikes have the little power bar up top with quite a few dots there, which is good, but the electric is kind of known for that not being too accurate. So I always look at the volts to see how many volts that I have left. With this bike, there's no way to check your volts, so it's you're kind of just having to rely on those dots. And I haven't ridden it enough to see if, you know, I start getting down too far. And I see there's a tree across the road. So this is pretty interesting. I guess I'll just kind of have to lift up over this thing. The thing about these e-bikes is you're kind of high off the ground on these things. I don't know if the pedal arms are longer than regular bikes or exactly what it is. Seems like they have a bit more ground clearance than regular bikes. You can kind of hear the motor kind of kick in as I go. But you kind of sit up high, so whenever you go to stop, your foot barely touches the ground. So whenever you stop, you kind of have to hit your brakes and slide off the front of the seat so that you can get onto the ground and not fall over. And that's the problem that my daughter was having. She couldn't quite figure out the sliding off the front while she was trying to stop, and she had a little bit of an issue. So it looks like this thing is turning a little bit to mud here. I'm not going to go too far today. I'm going to get up here where I can turn around, I think, and head back the other way. But for those of you that aren't familiar with my channel, you know, visit my channel, and I've got about, well, I don't know, probably I've got 60 or 70 videos of us riding different trails and things, all kinds of fun stuff. But take a look at that if you have time, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you won't forget about us, and you can come back whenever you want and look at all the videos we have. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything, so go ahead and hit that if you would. But yeah, we're going to go back down. This is Prickett's Fort, which is a pretty cool place here. Actually an old army fort back from the Civil War days over there. Maybe I'll ride up past there to let everybody see it on the way back through. I need to get somebody out here with a chainsaw, don't we?
Yeah. Man, that's a nice bike. Is that a battery one?
Thank you. Yeah, it's an electric bike. It does pedal assist. You know, people in my age bracket with bad knees, once you pedal, sometimes if your knees or whatever starts hurting, you can turn on the pedal assist and it'll kind of help you along a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty nice.
I got my husband one because he had a bad knee.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't get him that nice of one.
Well, you know, my wife and I both got different ones. They're electric. The company is electric without the E at the beginning. And they are some of the nicest, least expensive ones. I think they're around $900 and some a piece. But we both got them and just love them. I was afraid that an electric bike wouldn't help me much up some of these West Virginia hills, but it does. I mean, I don't even have to stand up on my pedals to go up hills. For sure. Alrighty, it was good talking to you. Yep, okay, I will. Okay, folks, I guess you can kind of see this bike really turns heads. I'm stopping all the time. People asking me questions about the electric bikes, electric bikes. I'm not on my electric today. Seeing how fast it'll take me up this hill. If you guys remember, some of my last videos, I was down around, I don't know, 10, 9, 8 miles an hour. And the 750 watt is keeping me up in the 12 to 15 miles an hour range. So, a lot more help going up these tall hills than the other 500 watt electric bike. Alright guys, thanks for riding along with me and listening to me blabber on and on and on. I hope everybody's having a great day, enjoying nice weather. Hopefully you have, and God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.